So I'm going to walk you through your activity here where we're going to learn a little bit about how to graph using Google Sheets. And you're going to be graphing the data from our egg lab. So you should have recorded it directly onto your scientific method intro worksheet, this one right here. But I have the data from the Google Slides. So remember, if you missed any of the data, it's there in the Google Slides. And so here, I'm going to just kind of narrow this browser so that I can open up my Google Sheets. And this is where you will be entering in your data. And then I'm going to show you how to graph it. So you'll want to set up your columns just like the way I have it here. You'll have type of liquid. You'll have then the three types of, well, the air doesn't count as a liquid, but that's our control, the thing that we're comparing the other two liquids to. So then we soaked one egg in colored water and we soaked a final egg in corn syrup. And what you guys saw in the video that unfortunately you couldn't be here to do with me, but that I showed you was I took the mass of the egg before I soaked it, and then the data was right here. So make sure you set up your columns as well. One quick trick, if you don't know how to do it, you just hover over here like in between the columns and you can make it bigger or smaller so that it fits the text that you want nicely. So you'll type in your headings, mass of egg before soaking, and in parentheses you want to put your units. So in this case it was grams. You also need a third column for mass of egg after soaking. Also put in parentheses grams. This is directly from your data table. The only change is I accidentally put in your notes, I think I originally had length here, and so you'll want to change that to mass and make sure it's mass in your Google Sheet. Okay? So here, let's go ahead and just copy in the data directly from our notebooks into this Google Sheet. So the colored water egg was initially 79.2 grams, and the corn syrup egg was initially 79.1. Please notice that I'm not putting a G or writing the word grams after the number. If you do that, when you go to graph, your computer might get a little confused because it just wants a number and no letters. You put the grams in the heading, so that will still be taken care of, but you don't need to put it again here. Okay, and then we need to fill out the third column. So the control egg after soaking was was 70.0 grams. It got a little bit smaller, maybe from evaporation. The colored water egg was now 86.9 grams. It got a lot bigger because it took in water. And the corn syrup egg shrunk. It lost water, so it's now 47.7 grams. So now your Google Sheet should look just like mine. You've added all that information in that order, and we're going to highlight the data. So the way I do that is I click in the type of liquid box. I click that once, and then I hold down my cursor and I just drag to highlight all of the data that I want to graph. So I've highlighted it, and then I'm going to go up here. Just let me make this bigger for y'all. I'm going to go up here and insert chart. And then probably it'll auto-populate a bar graph, but we want to kind of change a few things here. So we're going to customize it. The first thing under setup, under chart type, I want you to click the one that's a scatter chart. I like that as a method of tracking our data. What you can see here is it shows us a little key. The mass of the egg after soaking is represented with a red dot, and before soaking is represented with a blue dot. So you can see for each one, you can see the control pretty much stayed the same. You can see the colored water got more mass after soaking, and you can see that the one that was in corn syrup got less mass after soaking. So we've got our x-axis set up nicely, but a couple of things I want to change. Let's go into customize over here. We'll go into chart and axis titles. I don't like the title that it auto-populated, so let's change it to say something like more of a summary. Mass of eggs before and after soaking in different liquids. You can make up your own title, but I just want it to be more of like a phrase. The other one was just kind of whatever Google decided to make our title, so we like to change it. And then you can click on chart title, we can go check if we wanted to change our horizontal axis. That's the one down here. But I like that name, type of liquid. That's the one we gave it. They got that straight from, oops, what did I do? I clicked out. So gotta get back into my chart editing. Let's go vertical axis. This one doesn't seem to have a label, so we need to give it a label. I think the labels were put over here in the key, but I want to type it in so it pops up on the left-hand side. So we can call it mass of egg, and we're going to put in parentheses grams. And then the red and blue key will tell us which dots are for which data point. So we'll go ahead and change that, and now you can see that the mass of egg popped up over there on the left-hand side. And I think our graph is looking pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with this graph right now. And so you can go around and fiddle if you want to change theme or font. You know, sometimes it's kind of fun to change that. I totally don't mind if you do that. I actually like that. It's just, I don't want to make them both the same. So, okay, we add a little color, and then we can go ahead and transfer this graph directly into your science notebook, and that's it. I just wanted you guys to get a little practice graphing because we're going to use it next week. So a couple of ways you can transfer the graph. I think if you can right-click, wait, maybe not. I want to copy this, so I'm gonna click. Nope. Let's try a screenshot. So on my computer, the way to do a screenshot, if I want to immediately paste it, I do Shift Control Command 4. So that was Shift Control Command 4. And then this little cursor pops up, and I can just highlight the picture. Boom. And then I want to add it to my science notebook. I'm going to put it on the next available page, which is, I believe, page 16. We'll just scroll all the way down. And yep, right there, page 16. Name of the assignment, you don't have to hyperlink it. We can just call it Graphing Practice. Boom. And we just copy and paste, and then you just paste it in there. So if the method that I gave you for how to take the screenshot doesn't work on your computer, I would then just Google and see if, type in your type of computer and how to do screenshots. Since we each maybe have a different type of computer, might be a little bit different, but that's how I do a screenshot on my computer. And then the last thing you want to do is just update in your table of contents that we put Graphing Practice on page 16. And I'll give you the due dates in class, but because it depends on A and B day. Okay, that is it. That's how you do the graph. You are good to go if you have done that. And I'll see you guys next week.